Now at 9, AI is on campus. What professors had to say.
One local school is hosting a fish fry fundraiser. How this will help their students.
Cleanup is underway in East Palestine. What has been picked up?
Severe weather has hit the country. What the different regions are seeing.
We had storms today, 70s on Wednesday, and snow on Friday. I'll have more about this roller coaster week in my full forecast.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Mira Bloomer.
And I'm Lily Kroon.
We begin tonight with a story that NewsLink Indiana brought to you earlier this month. Artificial intelligence continues to dominate the social media landscape.
Despite its controversy in university settings, some praising the new tool, Madison Smith reports.
The AI essay generator has become a common resource for people to use to have their work written for them. Sociology, English, computer science, and many more departments made up today's panel and audience to discuss how the AI essay writer is affecting the learning style in Ball State's courses and why it is important to learn about.
Is teach our students how to use it ethically, productively, and constructively in their line of work and in their discipline. And there's a lot of benefits here. For introverted students who don't like group work, all of a sudden they have somebody that they can communicate with and bounce ideas off. For folks that are sort of maybe lacking a particular skill, they can use ChatGPT to sort of not necessarily learn that skill, but understand how that skill works, right?
Members of the panel discussed how the AI essay writer is not going away anytime soon. It is only going to continue to grow. They are introducing new ways for artificial intelligence to be incorporated in their courses for educational purposes rather than it being seen as a negative resource.
But maybe asking them a follow-up question of how would you articulate to an employer that you are worth hiring rather than them just relying on ChatGPT to give the answer.
In Muncie, Indiana, Madison Smith, NewsLink Indiana.
Struggling to find a way to kick off your spring break? If you're looking for all-you-can-eat food while supporting a good cause, look no further than St. Michael's Catholic School fundraiser. Proceeds from Dan's All-You-Can-Eat Fish Fry will fund St. Michael's 8th grade class trip to Washington, D.C., as well as tuition for students at St. Aloysius in Nairobi, Kenya.
They're working through this fundraiser. It's going to give another child an experience too of education and that enrichment support in a whole different space.
The event will be held at Knights of Columbus Hall this Friday night from 5 to 8. Chicken options and carryout will be available. Boy, this weather honestly has been quite humid, pretty warm, honestly.
Oh, for sure, up and down. I'm definitely excited for those warmer temperatures.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what Oliver has to say for the rest of this week.
Well, we did see those warm temperatures here in Muncie for today. Looking currently at the temperatures, 53 degrees in Muncie, 50 degrees in Indianapolis. Down there in Evansville, 61 degrees. And we did see a high of around 60 degrees earlier today, but that was not the big story for central Indiana. That system of storms that moved through in the earlier afternoon hours are definitely seeing some remains here on the current radar. Again, a couple spotty showers that's going to be continuing as you move into tonight. But during my full forecast, I'll talk about the increase in temperatures, possible mixed precipitation, and what you might be expecting for the beginning of your spring break.
Thank you, Oliver. Now to the latest devastation in Oklahoma and Kansas. There have been at least 9 tornado reports across the 2 states. Most of the tornadoes touching down in Oklahoma on Sunday, causing damage and hurting at least a dozen people. Mike Valerio takes us there.
Holy moly.
In Norman, Oklahoma, neighborhoods battered. This Jeep flipped onto the driveway of another home. Families waking up to survey the destruction of strong winds, once expected starting in April, now here in February.
I got up and then the wind just threw me back and I'm screaming. It was like a blizzard inside the house with all the debris flying. And I was screaming for my kids, because they were in their bedrooms. I didn't know if they were hurt or anything.
Yep, look at that. Roof completely gone.
Neighbors in the aftermath describing how they survived.
A lot of real strong wind. I was standing out in the garage. My wife went to the neighbors to get in a shelter.
This is all connected to the same sweeping storm system, one that brought rare blizzard warnings to the mountains of Southern California earlier in the weekend, then tornado threats to Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas on Sunday. Monday morning, this twister touching down in Champaign, Illinois, as the system marches east. Back on the West Coast, a new system of rain and high-elevation snow pushes from the Pacific Northwest into California and the Rockies. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
The federal government is moving ahead with plans to dispose of some of the hazardous waste from that train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. The Norfolk Southern train derailed more than 3 weeks ago. The Environmental Protection Agency says a shipment of contaminated liquid and solid waste began heading to 2 EPA facilities in Ohio today. Norfolk Southern is helping with the cleanup. EPA's regional administrator says federal, state, and local governments will closely monitor the operation to make sure waste is safely removed. Right now, more than 100,000 gallons of liquid waste and 5 truckloads of soil need removal.
It's been more than 3 years since the first COVID-19 case in Wuhan, China, and still, U.S. intelligence remains divided on its origins. A new low-confidence assessment from the Department of Energy found that the pandemic likely originated from a lab leak. In 2021, some intelligence agencies made a, quote, low-confidence assessment that the virus likely jumped from animals to humans naturally in the wild. The uncertainty is in large part because Beijing has not cooperated with efforts to investigate the matter.
If we're going to do something to strengthen the World Health Organization, then we're going to have to push China to be more active in it and to, of course, be more honest about what happened 3 years ago in Wuhan with the origin of the COVID-19 crisis.
A new study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology is showing a new medical breakthrough. It shows stem cell therapy can reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke in severe health failure patients. The procedure involves using a catheter to inject adult stem cells from bone marrow with anti-inflammatory properties into an inflamed heart. The study shows one treatment can reduce the long-term risk of heart attack or stroke by 58% for patients with a weakened heart muscle.
In just moments, Russia's president accusing the West of trying to destroy Russia. What U.S. intelligence officials are saying.
Plus, a consumer alert involving an artificial sweetener. What you need to know next.
I love you.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
The G20 meeting held over the weekend ended with all but 2 countries condemning Russia's unprovoked offensive on Ukraine.
The holdouts, China and Russia, and U.S. officials have concerns about a potential link between those two superpowers. John Lorenk reports.
The Kremlin is accusing the West of trying to destroy Russia.
They have one goal: to break up the former Soviet Union in its main part, the Russian Federation.
During an interview with Russian state TV, Russian President Vladimir Putin said the goal of leading NATO countries is to, quote, inflict a strategic defeat on us so that our people suffer.
How can we, under these conditions, not take into account their nuclear potentials? They supply Ukraine with weapons worth tens of billions of dollars, because this is participation in the usual sense.
Speaking of participation, U.S. officials say they are confident China is considering sending lethal aid to Russia in its war against Ukraine.
Beijing will have to make its own decisions about how it proceeds, whether it provides military assistance. But if it goes down that road, it will come at real cost to China.
As the Russian invasion of Ukraine enters its second year, President Joe Biden's administration's stance on the issue is clear.
We're not going to stand by and allow one country to roll over another country and try to wipe it off the mat. And we're going to build and have built a coalition of more than 50 nations to resist that and help the Ukrainians defend their own territory.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The Supreme Court is set to hear arguments on President Biden's student loan forgiveness program today.
The plan, which cancels up to $20,000 of student debt for each borrower who qualifies, has been on hold as it makes its way through the courts. 2 cases are in front of the justices. In one, 6 Republican-led states say they would be harmed financially if the program goes into effect. The other involves 2 borrowers in Texas who don't fully qualify for debt forgiveness.
This means people can finally crawl out from under that mountain of debt to get on top of their rent and their utilities.
Plaintiffs in both cases argue the government doesn't have the authority to cancel loan debt under the proposed rules of the program.
Researchers are sounding the alarm on a popular artificial sweetener. A study published in the journal Nature Medicine found erythritol can double the chance of a heart attack or stroke. That's for people in the top quarter of those with the sweetener in their blood. The problem appears to be it causes blood to clot more easily. Researchers warn erythritol increases risk for heart attack and stroke as much as having diabetes does. Erythritol is frequently used to add bulk to stevia and other sweeteners, popular for people eating a keto diet.
Adidas last year dumped Kanye West and his once hugely popular Yeezy clothing and sneaker brand over anti-Semitic remarks. But the controversy has seemingly created high demand for the shoes. Yeezy sneakers currently are among the top 3 sellers on online retailer Impossible Kicks. The CEO says demand has surged 30% since October to November. The boosted sales at resale wouldn't benefit West, who now goes by Ye. The housing market surprised analysts with pending home sales climbing more than 8% from December to January. That data comes from the National Association of Realtors and represents signed contracts, not deals that actually close. Still, it represents a bright spot for a sector that has been struggling for the past several weeks. Mortgage rates have been on the climb again.
And we did see that storm system move through, and we might be seeing some more precipitation. I'll have all that and more after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other,
On a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward,
Come together.
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Now let's take a look at the Foundational Science Building.
And see what Oliver has to say with weather.
Well, we are definitely seeing some clear skies out there. The main thing in effect for our area at the moment is a special weather statement issued by the National Weather Service about some windy conditions that are going to be continuing into tomorrow. But looking at these current watches, we used to see some wind advisories here in central Indiana. Big thing, we've got this flood warning on the western side of the state, and moving towards the southeastern parts of Ohio and West Virginia, we do have that wind advisory chasing that storm system that moved through our area a little bit earlier today. As we can see here on the radar, we do see that large band of storms move through. We were under a tornado watch, did see a couple tornado warnings and some severe weather warnings in our viewing area as well, but that storm is past. We are only seeing a couple of the remnants of that storm move through our area at the moment. But looking at the current temperatures, again, 53 degrees here in Muncie, 50 degrees in Indianapolis, a little bit colder up here in Lafayette, almost 60 degrees down there in Cincinnati, and we were at 60 degrees. That was our high for today. So just remember that. But again, the storm, the largest weather story for today. And we are still seeing the remnants, a couple showers here and there throughout tonight, and that is going to continue as we move further into tonight. Cloudy skies, low of around 37 degrees, winds coming from the west-northwest at around 10 to 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Now those rain chances should be decreasing as we move throughout tonight, and cloud coverage is going to be decreasing as we move into tomorrow. Temperature increasing, high of around 53 degrees. Winds also decreasing, getting down to around 5 miles per hour as you make your way into the afternoon, but it also switches directions here. At noon, we're going to be seeing some wind from the northwest. Around 5 p.m., we're going to start seeing it come from the southeast, and that is definitely going to be bringing up some warmer air and warmer temperatures as you move into the week. Looking at this 5-day temperature trend, 68 degrees for your Wednesday. That's almost 70 degrees and about 25 degrees warmer than what we normally see for this time of year. We do cool down as you move into the weekend. 44 degrees for your high on Friday, 38 degrees for your Saturday. So definitely going to be seeing those seasonal temperatures return here in central Indiana. But again, looking at the precision cast, might not be seeing too much precipitation as you move through Tuesday into Wednesday morning and into Wednesday afternoon. You are seeing a little bit of precipitation, spotty throughout the area, but Thursday evening into Friday morning, that's when we are going to be seeing the next band of precipitation. Looking at your 7-day forecast, again, almost 70 degrees there on your Wednesday. 80% chance of showers on Friday. Decreasing temperatures, might be seeing some mixed precipitation as you move into the weekend, but hey, we are going to be returning to around 50 degrees as we go into the beginning of next week.
And I'm definitely excited for that warmer weather. I'm not going anywhere for spring break, so it's going to be nice to be here.
Yeah, me too. And I'm glad that wind is dying down because it was quite windy today, but hopefully that outdoor temperature didn't affect any of the indoor sports. And let's see what sports has for us today.
Program soared to new heights, and one squad readies for the madness of March. All that and more next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10. Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Brandon Beeman with sports. Ball State women's tennis head coach Max Norris has been placed on administrative leave. In a statement from Ball State Communications, the university stated that Norris will, quote, remain on administrative leave pending the completion of an internal review. Athletic Communications stressed that it will not make any further comments on the issue, and coaches and athletes will not be made available for interviews. Assistant coach Kafiani will step in during Norris's absence. Ball State Gymnastics is on a roll this season as they set new records. NewsLink Indiana's Jake Garcia sits down with the team to learn about its success.
Cardinals Gymnastics remain dominant this season as they tally their 11th straight head-to-head win with a 196.1 to 196.075 victory over MAC rival Central Michigan this past weekend. Ball State able to place the 5th best overall team score in program history, with 4 of the top 5 score placements just this year. Head coach Joanna Salim reflects on the squad's success.
Our goal has always been for a complete season and to get better throughout the year so that at the end we're peaking and we're really hitting on all cylinders. And so for us, we go into the gym every day and we analyze, okay, what did we do really well? Great, how do we do that again? And then what do we need to continue to improve on?
Ball State not only dominant as a collective group, but the Cardinals have also been witness to individual dominance as well. Junior Victoria Henry soars to claim a record dating back to 1997 as she becomes the individual all-around record holder with a score of 39.4 in Sunday's meet.
I would say keeping consistency with the energy of the team. Like, we have the skills, but making sure that we're actually connected and in the moment is definitely something to strive for.
Along with Henry, Junior Suki Pfister sets a career best on vault with a 9.950 score.
The key is taking every day one step at a time, getting 1% better at practice, finding that goal or intention for the day and really working towards that.
The team hopes to maintain momentum for the remainder of the season by sticking together.
We are just really going after it. We're practicing in the gym like we compete, and we compete like we practice. It's just repetition, and we're cranking it out.
The Cardinals will look to continue their success as the MAC championships approach on March 18th. In Muncie, Jake Garcia, NewsLink, Indiana.
With gymnastics excelling this season, the Ball State track and field team soaring as well. Over the weekend, the Cardinals traveled to Bowling Green to compete in the Mid-American Conference Indoor Championships. The team finishes in second place with an overall score of 83 points, the most points as a program since 2008. Senior Charity Griffith was named MAC MVP, and Alana Springer was named MAC Freshman of the Year. Junior Kayla Jones also taking home a first place in the 800 meters. The Cardinals begin their outdoor season on March 18th. Track and field aren't the only successful athletes, with Ball State baseball on yet another weekend road trip. The Cardinals battle in 4 games in the Swig and Swine Classic. After going 3-1 overall as a team, several Ball State players earn awards. Junior pitcher Ryan Brown earns MAC Pitcher of the Week, with third baseman Ryan Peltier capturing MAC Player of the Week. Ball State will be back in action this Friday for a doubleheader against Cornell and Purdue-Fort Wayne. As baseball impresses, men's basketball looks to do the same tomorrow night as they hit the road to take on the Akron Zips. Ball State heads into the matchup 20-9 on the season and 11-5 in the MAC. On the opposite end of the court, the Zips charge into their home match, also 20-9 on the year. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. in Akron, Ohio. This men's basketball team's coming to the last 2 games of their season. It's going to be exciting to see how they finish it off.
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely excited to make the Friday game right before spring break.
Yeah, me too. What a great way to end the week. Thank you, Brandon.
After the break, join us for our anchor picks.
Plus, we have one final look at weather. Stay with us.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Can you help me?
I got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Elon Musk is once again the richest man in the world. Bloomberg reports Musk is worth $187.1 billion after the markets closed on Monday. He is a couple of $1 billion ahead of the Frenchman Bernard Arnault, the CEO of LVMH, the world's largest luxury brand. The Tesla owner was worth $340 billion in November 2021, and within a year he lost $200 billion. But Tesla is rebounding, and so is Musk's wallet.
Calling all Pokemon trainers, it's Pokemon Day, and the company is celebrating with a slew of announcements. February 27th is the anniversary of when Pokemon first came out in the 90s. The company is marking the day by announcing the re-release of the original cards. It says it will reveal more information about that in August at the World Championships, which will be in Japan for the first time ever. The company also is unveiling trailers for a new Netflix show and a game called Pokemon Sleep. Now, I've never heard of Pokemon Sleep, but I did play Pokemon Go a while back.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I did not, but I remember when Pokemon Go took the world by storm. Almost
for sure.
everybody had it.
Everyone had it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, let's take our final look at weather.
Well, again, we are going to be seeing warmer temperatures here on Wednesday, almost 70 degrees for your high. Cooling down a little bit as you go into the weekend, 44 degrees for your Friday and an 8% chance of precipitation with some possible snow as well. But then warming back up to the 50s to start off your spring break.
Now, I'm very excited for that warmer weather coming up.
No, me too. And I'm really excited for spring break. Honestly, it's the perfect break.
And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. And be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.